every hour of every day, 1 million social media profiles deemed so inappropriate, so harmful that we should not be influenced by them, are deleted altogether off the face of the internet. Social media is being blamed for causing depression, for spreading political disinformation. We see cyber attacks, celebrity hacks, bullying, acts of terror, murder streamed online, fake news, record fines, social media executives hauled in front of the courts. Social media is getting a proper kick-in at the moment, isn't it? But I don't think bans, fines, and legislation will go far in helping solve its problems. You see, I'm here today because I'm on a mission to save social media, because I believe social media is one of the most powerful forces for good in society today. My passion for social media is a vested interest in the future of social media, you could say. Because back in the beginning, the very beginning, I was that geek that wrote the page on social media, on Wikipedia. It was in July 2006. I wrote the second, the third, and the fourth pages too. None of them were that good. And you would not believe how much grief I got for being into social media in 2006. The thing is, nobody cared about it back then. But people care now. The impact that social media is having on our lives, on our health, and on our well-being is pretty much constantly in the news. But what's the real extent of the problem? Well, to give you an idea, I'm going to look at 3 of the most influential social networks of today: Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. In the first 9 months of this year, according to official statistics published by Facebook, the social network deleted 5.4 billion fake Facebook accounts. That's equivalent to 2/3 of the population of Earth. On top of this, Facebook deleted 15 million hate speech posts, 18 million pieces of terrorist propaganda, and 5.9 billion pieces of spam. And this is double, on average, what it was last year. On Instagram, they have different problems. The social network has been linked with multiple reported cases of suicide. And so just last month, Instagram announced a much welcomed global ban on images that promote self-harm. On Twitter, the world of politics is in the spotlight. In September this year, 1,000 accounts originating from China were found interfering with the Hong Kong protests. 1,019 accounts were found trolling the president of Ecuador, Lenin Moreno. And in November last year, 10,000 accounts were found dissuading Americans from voting in US elections. All of these accounts had to be deleted by Twitter. And the end result? Twitter's just announced a global ban on political advertising. So you can probably tell, I am a massive data nerd. But this is a sheer tidal wave of what the world's governments call online harms. And it's only just beginning. It's on Twitter that I first came across a researcher called Conspirator Norteño, and a story I'd like to share with you that brings to life where a lot of this is coming from and why. Norteño made an observation, which is that social media profiles that are harmful often end with 8 random digits. For example, my username, which is unique, is Drew B. But if you add 8 digits to the end, like Drew B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there could be 100 million of us then. Now this is what harmful accounts on social media try to do. They often are anonymous, but they want to look authentic. And 8 random digits at the end of their username is one of the ways they do it. So Norteño ran a test. He did a search for accounts discussing divisive topics online that ended with 8 random digits. And he came across a cluster of 63,000 of them, all in some way linked, like 3 degrees of digital evil separation. And in the middle, a chap called David Jones. David was a Brit from the south coast of England, Southampton to be precise. He had a Union Jack as his profile pic, and he was highly active on Twitter. He had 136,000 tweets, 102,000 friends, and that's a lot. 10 times more than me on every measure. And my Twitter addiction goes back like 12 years. But that's not what was strangest about David. You see, David only tweeted office hours, and that's really weird. You see, the way we use social media always follows a trend. We call this the whale. From midnight till midnight. Our tweets tail off as we go to sleep. They pick back up in the morning. And they peak between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Sometimes we go to sleep late, sometimes we wake up early. But it always follows the pattern of the whale. David didn't look like a whale. You see, David would start tweeting at 8 a.m. and finish at 8 p.m. every single day, like clockwork, as if it was his job. David wasn't a whale. David was a brick. 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. every single day. Moscow time. So Nortenio took a look at what David was posting in his 136,000 tweets, and the themes that kept coming up were astonishing. Crimea, Ukraine, Trump, UKIP, Brexit. David would tweet about teaming up with Russia and how staying in Europe would finish the UK off. And 63,000 other accounts would amplify his posts by retweeting, sharing, liking, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. every single day, Moscow time. I don't think David's from Southampton. You see, to the untrained eye, all this looks really real. But it is hugely damaging to society. So what is David? David is a troll. A troll on social media is a real person, but not who they say they are. They hide behind a fake identity. They pick fights and they dish dirt. And his squadron of followers, they are likely bots. Bots aren't real. Bots are accounts on social media run by software programs. They exist in their billions, and their sole purpose is to make others look more influential. Shortly after finding David and sharing the story on Twitter, Nortenio got blocked by him. And within 24 hours, as the world's gaze turned to David from Southampton, he did a runner, pulled the plug. You won't find David on social media anymore. At least you'll be hard-pressed to. R.I.P. David, God rest his soul. But the unfortunate truth, though, however, is many more Davids have risen up to take his place. We're influenced more deeply than we think by the harms that spread on social media. But the power is in our hands to fix it. You see, social media is a brilliant thing. It brings us all together. It gives us access to information we've never had before. We've literally never had quite so much power online. But I want us to be able to use this power for good. So my aim today is this. I'm going to give you 3 new skills that you can use right away to make the world a safer place through social media. Okay, you ready? I'm going to start with skill number 1. I'm going to teach you how to spot a troll and a bot. Trolls on social media are like David. They're real, typically not who they say they are, and they talk a lot. They post more than any human being naturally would, and they tend to get involved in divisive topics online. Their followers are normally vast in number, and they are bots. Bots are not real. They're accounts controlled by software. They exist in large volumes. They are very quiet. They rarely post anything a human being would say, but they share others' content on an enormous scale. Trolls and bots have strange usernames. Their profile pictures aren't usually of them, and the numbers of people they follow and are followed by aren't the amounts that a normal person could manage. To find a troll, look in the comments under any high-profile politician. They are always there. To find a bot, look at trolls' followers. Here's the important bit. Once you find one, if you ever do come across one, report them. Every major social network has a button on every post and every profile, and click. The people that work at the social networks will review and will likely delete. Don't let them go. If it's really bad, you can report trolling behavior to the police. In the UK, harmful posts on social media will land you with a jail sentence. So that's skill number 1, how to spot a troll and a bot. Let's move on. Skill number 2, I'm going to give you your fake filter. Fake news used to be 2 different things, didn't they? Fake news. Now, that didn't used to be a thing. Well, it is now, and it is all over those deleted accounts on social media. Fake news on social media is made-up content. It spreads widely online, and it's often posted to troll accounts dressed up to look like official news sources. It's often created by the trolls and spread by the bots. They do it to make money through inane but lucrative activities, like spam, and we've seen there's a lot of that. But sometimes more sinister ones too, like swing the votes in an election. Now you see, this is what makes social media so dangerous. Because we believe what we see on social media, because it's been shared by a friend. Now, I grew up in a world where we trusted all of our sources of news, or at least we could judge them fairly. Newspapers and TV stations are what we consumed, and they're run by trained journalists. We trusted economists, academics, most politicians, maybe not, but who do we trust most? Friends. And that's social media, isn't it? We trust what we see online because we choose so carefully who we follow. But take it from someone who's seen more than their fair share of social media content and who's poured through most of the data. This is your fake filter. 1 in 3 things you see on social media is likely somehow fake. Because that statement, that doctored clip, the filtered image, absolutely could have been put there by somebody with an agenda. And just because you've seen it shared by a friend, don't trust it. If you're unsure, look at the comments under a post. Someone in your network will likely have called out something that's fake. And follow Full Fact. It's a charity set up to help spot fake news. It announces new cases, and it has a search engine to help you too. So remember, don't trust everything you see, and remember the social media rule of 1 in 3. So there we go. You have your fake filter. Finally, skill number 3. This one, I'll leave you with, will help you beat online harms, and it's all about the power of positivity. This final skill is designed to break the very thing that social networks have built to make money, but which is propagating online harms too. The algorithm. The algorithm is the technology that all the major social networks use to mix up what we see. They do it to make us come back over and over again. But you see, social networks, they read what we type. They see where we click, and they know what we like. And before you know it, you're down some kind of strange rabbit hole. And your social media feed looks less like updates from friends and more like the tabloid sidebar of shame, doesn't it? So here's your way around it. Follow 20 positive and inspiring influences today. Follow a sports person. Follow a hobby. Follow an activist. Follow National Geographic. Follow new old friends. Avoid too much divisive topics and avoid celebrity culture. And literally, within a few scrolls, you'll find your social media feed more balanced and more uplifting. It really is as simple as that. So there we go. You have 3 new skills. You're ready to save the world. Social media is one of the most dominant influences on society today, and it has come out of nowhere. 1 million harms an hour is a sheer tidal wave, and it's only just beginning. We must ask ourselves, where is it all coming from? How is it really influencing us? And what can we do to make the world a safer place? Yes, regulations will help. Yes, technology will improve to catch more harms. But the answer is in our hands. Know how to spot a troll and a bot. Put on your fake filter and don't believe everything you see. And follow 20 positive influences today. Through education, awareness, and a more mindful approach to balancing the world online with the events unfolding around us, we can save social media and make it a positive force for change, to rethink and reboot society. Thank you very much.